Do you like crawling around in tight spaces? And really, who among us doesn't? Then this video is just for you, as Tom from the Home Craft Chronicles shows us how to replace a kitchen sink. And you won't need everything but the, well, you know.
I'm just going to replace a 2-bowl stainless steel sink with another 2-bowl stainless steel sink. It's a pretty basic swap, except the new sink is a little deeper, which we tend to like. The difference is I'm going to change my 2-handle faucet for this single handle faucet with a sprayer. There's generally 3 basic types of mounting options. You have the top mount, which this sink is, which just drops in. There's also an undermount sink, in which the sink is mounted from underneath the countertop, and you'll be able to wipe stuff right into the counter. There's also what's called an integral sink, or a one-piece sink, in which the sink and the countertop are one unit. You see this a lot in bathroom vanities. As far as the tools you need for this project, it's mainly the tools you already have around your house. Pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers. You're also going to need some plumber's putty and some caulk for sealing. The first thing you want to do with any project like this is just take a minute, glance over the instructions that come with your products just to make sure you're familiar with them. You might think the next step is to shut off the water in the sink that you already have, get that all unattached and taken out to get ready for the new one, but you'd be wrong. What we're going to do is assemble the new sink first. That way we have the water off for as little amount of time as possible. Although I have a single handle faucet and stem, you can see I have 4 holes in the sink. This hole over here is for an auxiliary, whether it be a sprayer, soap dispenser, hot water dispenser. The middle hole is where the faucet goes, and the 2 side holes are typically where the hot and the cold handles would be. Now in the single handle faucet, my manufacturer for my faucet gives me this cover plate to cover the 2 holes. After the faucet's in the hole, I have a plastic washer and a metal washer that I'm going to feed on through the hoses. Make sure you line it up so the plastic washer is on top. And then this is a lock nut. Then I'm going to simply tighten the hold down screws with a screwdriver. So just to review, you see the center spout with the 2 washers and the retention lug. On either side you have the screws holding on the cover plate with the 2 black retaining washers. And the final part for the top hookup is just the assembly for the spray arm. Okay, the most important thing you need to do is turn the water off. Whether you have a shut off right at your faucet like I do, or maybe it's something below down the basement, or in some older homes you may even have to turn off the whole house supply. Next you want to unhook the drains and get them out of the way. Make sure you have a little bucket or tray underneath to catch the water that's in the trap. Next you have to undo the water connections. It's simply a matter of holding the pipe with one wrench and loosening the nut on the fill line with another, and just repeat it for the other line. And then lastly, unscrewing the little clips that hold the sink in. It helps to be part contortionist. Before you take the sink out, you want to go around with a thin blade and just break the seal of any caulk or adhesive that's holding the sink in. On my sink here, which is a laminate sink, although unlikely, you could run the risk of pulling off some of the laminate from your countertop. Then the sink should come out. And then while you're here, just go ahead and clean up that excess sealant. The last thing I have to do is take these strainer baskets off, because I am going to reuse them. Okay, now that I have my new sink ready to go in, I just have to reassemble it in reverse order. And the first step is to reinstall the strainer basket. But before I can put the basket in, I have to seal it. And I'm going to seal it with this plumber's putty. And all you do is you get a piece of plumber's putty, you work it in your hands. It's a little sticky, it's a little oily, and you work it out into a little rope. Once you have it into a rope, about a 1/4 inch thick or so, you just wrap it around the underside of the lip, just like that. Center it up in the hole and press it in place. Then put on the rubber washer, and then put on your cardboard friction washer, and then the lock nut. And then I just tighten it up with my pliers, and I stick a needle nose through the holes of the strainer basket to hold it so the whole basket doesn't spin. And then after you have it tightened up, you can see the putty just squeezes out, and you just go back and scrape it up with your finger. And then I just repeated it for the other one. And then I'm just going to put the drain back together the way I took it off. And next I have to hook up the bracket. Every manufacturer is going to be a little different. But in my case, I just feed these screws into the brackets and then slide them into the track on the underside of the sink. My directions recommend that I have one on each side in the middle and then just evenly space out the remaining. So now that I'm ready to set the sink, I'm just going to put a nice bead of silicone sealant along the edge of the opening. And you don't have to be stingy with this because excess will squeeze out, but you can't put more in once you have the sink in. So now all I have to do is attach these little clips to the underside of the sink and hold it down to the countertop. So how these clips work, you get that little pyramid shaped bolt and you slide it into this little track. Then you clip it to underneath the countertop and then you tighten it. First I'll just do it by hand to lock it in place. And then I'll just complete that all the way around the sink. Next it's just a matter of hooking up the drain and the supply lines just the way you took them off. First I tighten the trap and then just tighten all the slip connections where they want to go. So if you tackled a similar project like this in your own home, put in a new kitchen sink or maybe a bathroom sink or even a laundry tub, I'd like to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have any other plumbing projects coming up at your house that you have some questions about? If so, let us know below and we'll try to give you the answer. In the meantime, if this is your first time here, click that subscribe button and you won't miss any of the great projects we have right here at Home and Garden for Mere Mortals. And after you're done watching this video, come on over and visit me at the Home Craft Chronicles where I have a lot more projects in and around the house. So until I see you next time, right here on Home and Garden for Mere Mortals, my name is Tom from the Home Craft Chronicles. I'll see you real soon.